nature, the ecosystems that we all live in, gives us essentially everything. The air we breathe, the food that we eat, the materials that we use for building houses, and anything you can imagine, really. And unfortunately, it's being undermined and destroyed by human activity. So I wanted to do something about it, which is a main principle of permaculture, is do something about it. Don't just complain, do something about it. Take personal responsibility for what you do with your life and make a contribution to changing things for the better. So in London, I became involved with permaculture, started running permaculture courses and planting forest gardens. There's a really nice forest garden in a nursery school in London, which I think we were the first ones, nature-wise, people to start planting forest gardens in cities in about 1990. And in 2004, I started a forest garden here, just between St Dogmaels and Cardigan, which is going quite well. Schools are becoming more and more involved as time goes, which is really nice. And while we were living in Cardigan, I became aware of all the shops that were shutting as the economic slump kicked in. And I started thinking that it would be really good to try and open up a place that would be open every day of the week. Well, we are open here 6 days a week, which is pretty close, where people could come in and get advice and information about living sustainably. And that was about 4 years ago, I think. And here we are. What we do here is we offer advice and information, and people can drop in any time. We also support local businesses and individuals. There's a lot of things here that we sell on behalf of individuals and businesses, so we're contributing to the local economy quite well, really.
About 6 years ago, I read a book by cartoon Kate Evans, called Funny Weather, and it made me think that right now was a time that in my life I was going to try anything I could to find some answers to the problems. And I came into the shop and realised that I might have something to offer. So I got involved, and I'd been running green fairs, so I had quite a lot of contacts of craftspeople and some people that sold second-hand things. So I was able to bring a few more things into the shop. A lot of people come in and say, wow, this is just the most fun, interesting shop I've ever been in, because it's got this incredible diverse things. We're mostly donations, at least more than half. So that's people just bringing things, and we have a lot of people that do small holding and gardening type things. Then we end up with a lot of those sort of donations, which is great and really useful. And the same with the books and the clothes. The same. We try and aim for things that are either a bit fun or natural material. And then we have the sale or return, which helps to raise the quality of the second-hand goods. And then all the beautiful crafts, which completely raises the quality of the whole shop. For me, I think it's very important that we're not just a second-hand shop. You know, lots of people come in and they stroke the beautiful soft wood with its waverly edges, and just really enjoy being able to be around and see beautiful things.
They're very supportive of local makers at the Eco-Shop, because we think it's important that we use local stuff as much as possible that hasn't travelled, that hasn't got a lot of miles on it, that is reusing stuff before recycling them. So I've made this cushion, for example, which is made with a second-hand cushion from an old holiday cottage. It's made with a second-hand zip from a charity shop, and the pattern is printed on a recycled curtain, part of a recycled curtain, with a really great local person who makes rollers where you can use old leftover bits of paint and use them to put patterns onto fabric or onto walls. So yeah, the fun thing about that is it includes loads of different local exciting things that are happening, reusing before recycling, and it's all sustainable and good.
I'm a woodworker myself, and I make boxes and tables, that some of which I bring in here. It's quite a good commission that the shop charges at 20%, which is considerably less than a lot of galleries would charge. We've got some other makers as well, with tables and carved spoons, green woodworking. We also have various green woodworking tools for sale, like throws and axes, hatchets.
I became involved in the Eco-Shop 3 years ago now because I wanted to sell my wooden crafts that I make in the shop, and that's what I started doing. But now my role here has evolved and I've become the man that mends the tools and supplies tools for the shop. The idea being that one of the principal things that I'm into is getting rusty old pieces of metal out of people's garages and sheds and turning them into things that are useful again, and that seems to be working quite well in the shop because there aren't people out there who will fix tools for you. What I quite like about being in the shop is that I'm in town for half a day a week, and I like dealing with the general public and giving people information. Another of my roles here is to promote my workplace, which is Coppiswood College down in Kilgarran, where we teach traditional woodland crafts and traditional woodland management, and it's quite useful for me being in the shop in that I can promote the courses that we run there to the general public, because we do get people coming in asking questions about, you know, what kind of things are going on locally.
Well, I'm Richard, I work in the Eco-Shop. It's a simple story. I retired from psychiatry. I worked for psychiatry for 32 years, and for non-altruistic reasons I was looking for ways to save money, and I've always believed in, I always liked the programme The Good Life when I was a child, and ways to be self-sufficient, grow your own things, chop my own wood. So these things I've started to do. I've also joined the Allotment Society, which is the first thing I did, and that's where I met Alpi and John. That led to the Eco-Shop, and one could get quite political about the resources that we're using in the world and the reliance on oil, and it's nice to bring your bills down, plus to have a good cause and leave less of a carbon footprint. So it's in all our interest to maybe follow some of these things that I started to do for maybe selfish reasons, but it brings your household bills down, and it's good for the planet as well, and I'm very proud about that.
When we have some money left over from all the expenses, it goes to supporting the forest garden, which is really nice, really good. We can buy more tools. We're currently buying tools for the children that come to the forest garden. And also now we're getting to the point where we're starting to look at supporting other projects or starting new projects in the area, which is really good. The 21st of September sustainability event came about when I was looking at the area and just thinking about how much was going on in terms of contributions to sustainability. And there is lots of really successful projects, businesses going on. And mostly they've been started by the initiative of individuals and groups of people. And I just thought it would be really good to celebrate these things happening and to gather as many of them as possible in the one space. There was lots of good things there. It was held in the Eco building, the Small World Centre. One of the main things that was debated and discussed was energy, because basically it's costing more and more to extract the oil, and that debate was chaired by Jane Davidson, and it was looking at how we might go forward locally in the UK, which was very important.